Don't know where it stopped. I'm going to go ahead and read back to verse 4. It says, "For if Elohim did not spare the messengers who sinned, but sent them to Tartaros and delivered them into chains of darkness to be kept for judgment." Tartaros is in the Turkish area, and this is where also the Euphrates rivers runs through and where they could be released from, these messengers, these fallen messengers. "And did not spare the world of old, but preserved Noah, a proclaimer of righteousness, and 7 others, bringing in the flood on the world of the wicked, and having reduced to ashes the cities of Sodom and Amorah, condemned them to destruction, having made them an example to those who afterward would live wickedly, and rescued righteous Lot, who was oppressed by the indecent behavior of the lawless," which again is the reason why judgment will come upon the earth, due to the indecent behavior of the lawless. "For day after day that righteous man dwelling among them tortured his righteous being by seeing and hearing their lawless works. Then Yah knows how to rescue the reverent ones from trial, and to keep the unrighteous until the day of judgment, to be punished." Judgment will bring forth punishment. "And most of all, those walking after the flesh in filthy lust and despising authority, bold, headstrong, speaking evil of esteemed ones, whereas messengers who are greater in strength and power do not bring a slanderous accusation against them before the master. But these, like natural unreasoning beasts, have been born to be caught and destroyed, blaspheme that which they do not know, shall be destroyed in their destruction, being about to receive the wages of unrighteousness, deeming indulgence in the day of pleasure, spots and blemishes, reveling in their own deceptions while they feast with you, having eyes filled with an adulteress and unable to cease from sin, enticing unstable beings, having a heart trained in greed, children of a curse, having left the right way they went astray, having followed the way of Balaam the son of Beor, who, loved the wages of unrighteousness, but he was rebuked for his transgression. A dumb donkey speaking with the voice of a man restrained the madness of the prophet. These are fountains without water, clouds driven by a storm, to whom the blackest darkness is kept forever. So this is where these beings, these spirits, these messengers will come from. Tartaros, which is in the Euphrates region of Turkey, to be released and to wreak havoc on the earth. Verse 15, which is dealing with the third of mankind being destroyed. We're going to look at Zekaryah, chapter 13, verses 8 through 9, to understand what this is all about. This is chapter 13 of Zekaryah, verses 8 through 9, which reads as follows. "And it shall be throughout all the soil, declares Yah, that 2/3 therein are cut off and die, and 1/3 is left therein." So this is just one of the thirds that are going to be smitten. Okay, there's going to be 2/3 left, 2/3 taken, and 1/3 is going to be left completely. "And I shall bring the third into the fire." There's a furnace again, "and refine them as silver is refined, and try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I shall answer them, and I shall say, this is my people, while they say, Yah is my Elohim." So this is all trials, all trials. Now we're going to go back to Enoch. We're going to look at the 10th chapter, verses 25 through 27, which reads as follows. It says, "Purify the earth from all oppression, from all injustice, from all crime, from all impiety, and from all the pollution which is committed upon it. Exterminate them from the earth. Then shall all the children of men be righteous, and all nations shall pay me divine honors, and bless men, and shall all adore me. And the earth shall be cleansed from all corruption, from every crime, from all punishment, and from all suffering. Neither will I again send a deluge upon it from generation to generation forever." So this was again speaking of Noah's time, but it's also speaking of the ultimate day of judgment, which is yet to come. 20 and 21. Okay, now we're just pretty much closing this up, looking at the rest of mankind who were not killed by the plagues and did not repent of the works of their hands. Let's look at Ezekiel 9 through 18 and see what some of the works of their hands are. What are some of these wicked things that they're doing? Ezekiel 8, 9 through 18. This is particularly from Israel, but again, Israel learned this from the nations. But Israel is the microcosm of the world, okay? The nation of Israel is the microcosm of the world. So once Israel gets themselves in order, the world will find itself in order. If Israel is out of order, the world will be out of order. And so this is why judgment begins with the house of Elohim, known as Israel. So here we go. This is verses 9 through 18. It reads as follows. And he said to me, go in and see the evil abominations which they are doing here. And I went in and looked and saw all kinds of creeping creatures, abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel, carved all around on the walls. And facing them stood 70 men of the elders of the house of Israel, and in their midst stood Yaazaniah, the son of Shaphan. Each one had a censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. So this was false worship, okay, which is replete throughout this earth right now. The world is replete with false worship. And he said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of the house of Israel are doing in the dark, each one in the room of his idols? Keep in mind, just recently, printed on Yahoo News and the African Globe, 70 rabbis have been found guilty of child pornography. 70 rabbis have been found guilty of child pornography. Okay? So it's interesting that they mentioned these 70 men of the elders, okay, were pretty much standing in the midst of Yaazaniah, and each one was doing their own form of worship. This is all Molech worship, okay? It's all Luciferian worship. For they say, Yah does not see us. Yah has forsaken the land. And he said to me, you are to still see greater abominations which they are doing. And he brought me to the door of the north gate of the house of Yah, and I saw women sitting there, weeping for Tammuz. This is what Lent is. Lent encompasses the 40 days of weeping for Tammuz. That is the origin of Lent. Then he said to me, have you seen this, O son of man? You are to see still greater abominations than these. And he brought me into the inner court of the house of Yah. And there, at the door of the sanctuary, or hekal of Yah, between the porch and the slaughter place, the altar, were about 25 men with their backs towards the hekal of Yah and their faces toward the east. And they were bowing themselves eastward toward the sun. They were worshiping the sun, which is all being done today as well. S-U-N, the S-U-N.